Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Collier, and I attend Texas A&M University for a sports management degree. I'm just hopping on here to talk about my feelings toward the tanking situation that really reminded me about the situation after I just watched the Miami Dolphins destroy the Cleveland Browns this early afternoon. It reminded me of how the team got to be this caliber of a team. Recently in 2019, the Dolphins were accused of intentionally losing games, in other words, tanking, by their former head coach, Brian Flores. Flores accused the front office of allegedly offering to pay him an extra $100,000 for every game that he coached that season and he lost. So every loss that they had, he would get an extra $100,000. And they did not great that year. They got the 6th overall pick, I believe, for the following year. And the Dolphins were able to draft Tua Tagovailoa. And you could say that really changed the tide for the Dolphins. They were able to secure their franchise quarterback as a result of losing a bunch of games the previous season and being able to get that higher of a draft pick. So they were able to draft their franchise quarterback and really turn their whole organization and future around. Because now they're sitting at 7-3, looking good. Just beat the Browns, like I said, very, very handedly. And they look a lot better now than they did in 2019 as a result of, them losing all those games and being able to draft their future franchise quarterback. And this not only has an impact on the team, but also has an impact on the fans too. So, clearly fans do not want to attend games in which their team is not very good and they're losing a bunch. And whenever this happens, this affects ticket sales, concessions, merchandise. It affects a very big, large spectrum of revenue that the team makes. And so far this year, the top 10 selling jerseys are all by contending teams in their respective divisions. So teams that are doing good, they're getting jerseys bought. They're selling merchandise. Their stadiums are filled. They're getting fans to come and spend money and support their team. And also another stat is that right now the Washington Commanders, who are, I believe, sitting at 2-7, are last in the NFL right now in ticket sales and are currently last in the NFL as well in filling up their stadium to its capacity. So right now they're averaging about 86% of their stadium capacity, where almost every other team in the National Football League is selling above 90%, and the contending teams are sitting at 97 to 100. So they're not marketing themselves right now with how poorly they are performing. And that's the impact on the fans. It also has a strong impact on the players. So players on losing teams tend not to get signed the following year when they play on a team that with a 2-15, 2-14 record. It just doesn't look good for them. Like if you perform, if your team doesn't perform, they assume that you don't perform, which really, that's their career. Their career is to go out there and play football, and if they're not able to secure a next contract, then they're out of a job, and that really has an impact on the player. And it's not even their fault. It's the fact that the team just didn't perform well. And also, football is a very physical sport, and these players are putting their health and safety at risk whenever they compete. And not that it's ever good to get hurt, but it hurts a lot worse whenever you get hurt and it turns out that the team isn't even attempting to win games, that they're just intentionally losing. So in conclusion, all in all, the NFL needs to have a penalty in place for teams that use tanking to their advantage. This needs to happen so you can keep the fans happy and attending games, buying merchandise, buying concessions, hot dogs, jerseys, all that. And you want to have the players competing and get some good games going on Sunday. And once again, my name is Jacob Collier. And if you enjoyed my discussion, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment section and I'll respond. I look forward to having a conversation and seeing everyone else's opinions on this topic. Y'all have a good Sunday afternoon.